I guess the best way of starting is just to ask where this all comes from.
So this project comes from a couple of conversations I've been having with Cecilia, who heads up at Improvement East, and we're both wondering about how do we help councillors develop in a really hugely changing context. And in particular, social media is completely transforming the relationship between citizen and representatives. And we want to make sure that we really understand what that change means and how we can help people adapt to it. And I think also we want to challenge people a little bit because and actually this is coming back from the research data already, it's not really acceptable for representatives not to be using the channels that the public are using. And we need to help people get there.
So tell me, this is called Networked Councillor. Can you tell me what a networked councillor is?
Well, we wouldn't be doing the research if we knew.
Okay, what do you think it is?
So that was unfair. But there's the point here is that if you take the kind of an analysis of the world, which is that the network is the most significant effect that we're seeing with new technologies, then councillors are going to need to be, we think, probably 4 different principles. We think they're going to have to be networked. We think they're going to have to be open by default, and we think that they're going to have to be digital by default, not in terms of just using digital, but in terms of taking on some of the social behaviours you see online, being collaborative and participative. And we also think they're going to have to learn how to work in a more agile kind of way. So the network councillor probably falls somewhere on a continuum. At one end, you've got people who've got still a communicative relationship, but probably more of a two-way relationship, more of a conversation going on. And right at the other end, you've probably got people who are working more co-productively, people who are facilitating problem solving in their communities. And then somewhere in the middle, you've got people who are naturally being more collaborative and are asking for more participatory democracy, but aren't actually changing the decision-making processes. So we think that the network councillor spans all of those models. And one of the interesting things we're going to look at in the research is where people think they've plopped themselves already.
Wow. So how are we going to do this?
Well, we are very lucky because Improvement East are a brilliant client to be working with on it. We're just starting off. We've done some research into what activity is happening in the area. So we're just taking a regional focus. We've done a quantitative questionnaire to just get the basic facts back, which we've had a nice response to, and now we're doing follow-up one-to-one interviews in order to get more qualitative information. Now when I get back from holiday, I'm about to go on holiday in a couple of weeks' time, I'm going to be coding up the data and starting to look at this from a research basis.
And this there's an event, isn't there?
Yeah. So the idea, this is kind of like when we say we should be agile, is we think we should be agile. So we're going to be doing the research and writing up the report over the next few weeks, and then we're going to have an event on 3rd week of October, which will be in the blog post because I can't remember it now. And the point of the event is to beta test the report. So we're going to put a report together, and then we're going to put together some experts from the local area and some other people that we know in order to really kick the tyres of the thinking. Because much as I'd like to think that we could just come up with something brilliant on our own, it never works. You need to collaborate in order to come out with something really good. So the idea is we'll test the report and then we'll get the final one out after everybody's had a chance to see it.
You mentioned collaborative there. I guess we'd be quite keen to hear from other people about what they think a network councillor might look like.
Absolutely. What we're going to do is we're going to pop it down in the blog post, which should be, as I'm pointing, just below. We'll put the link to the questionnaire there, actually, because there's no reason why we can't get wider answers than the ones from the research base we've already got. So we would absolutely love to hear. I think it's quite a nice term. What it actually means is something we're going to probably all have to explore together.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Quite welcome.